Guys ready? Okay, the April 12th meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is now called to order. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Glad you're about ready to kiss it.
Yeah, well, I just didn't want to block everyone's view of that.
Still getting close. A little snuggly.
Yeah, I felt comfortable.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether an alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rule of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will give an opportunity to do so by the chair and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by the staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. At this time, I will ask that all persons who expect to give testimony tonight to please stand and be sworn in by the city clerk. You can sit down. Yeah, if it's easier, just raise your hand and look that way.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you are about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. And if anybody has not signed in, there's a sign-in sheet in the back by the door there. If you would please sign in, that'd be appreciated. So as per usual, cases will be taken out of order tonight to accommodate the respondents that are here. Gentlemen, the first case will be 1311. Gentlemen and ladies, sorry. Our second case will be 0734.
Right in front of the first one.
Our third case on the previous page or further up your agenda will be 6253. Our fourth case is 1640. Fifth case will be under old business, 5967. And then we'll go back and infill with the remaining of the agenda. Okay?
What was the fifth?
5967 under unfinished. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can't find half of them anyway. We'll figure them out as we go along.
The second row here, what's your case number? Oh, they're with them? Okay, you ought to get it good. That makes it easier. Not yet. Okay, we ready to go? Okay, case number 1311.
Case number
Are you gonna do the-
22-13.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't.
So much going on, I forgot. We got a few other things to do before we get into the cases. My apologies. My apologies. Okay, ex parte communications. At this time, I'd like to ask the board members if they had any ex parte communications regarding any matters coming before the Code Enforcement Board this evening. If you've had verbal communications, please disclose the sum and substance of the communications, when and where the communications occurred, and with whom it occurred. If you received any written communications, please disclose the nature of the communications and provide it to the city clerk to be filed for the record. Starting with the end.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I have had 2 emails. I don't remember which case number it is. Somebody help me out. 117? 23-117. I did not respond to those emails. City clerk as well as the city attorney also received the same emails. Brian?
I have had none.
I've had none.
Okay, approval of the minutes. Everybody's got a copy of the minutes held for March 8th, 2023. Does anybody have any additions or corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion accepted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. On to the hearings. Now we can do case number 1311.
Case number 22-1311, City versus Aslanbek, Khadartsev, and Dunia Khadartsev, for the property located at 5106 East 122nd Street. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-4B4, nuisance buildings maintained in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case this evening originated back on October the 17th, 2019, when the structure was heavily damaged by fire. On January 22nd, 2021, a demo permit was applied for and obtained. Homeowner Dunia had met with the building inspector, Cheryl Bennett, and building official Elyce on several occasions to review plans for the remodeling of the new structure. Homeowner did submit plans to the city for review, and a building permit was issued on August the 6th, 2021. That permit expired in February of 2022. A notice of violation was prepared and submitted on March the 10th, 2022, with the compliance date of March the 25th, 2022. I posted the notice at the front gate and requested copies be sent certified in first-class mail. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. During the year of 2022, the homeowner did hire several contractors to do the work. However, the property sat idle. On December the 1st of 2022, building official Dallas Foss did meet with the homeowner to make some modifications to some of the plans for her to move forward. The structure has been under construction for more than 2 years, putting the property owner in violation with the nuisance building ordinance. Code staff has received some complaints from the neighbors, and a general building permit was issued on March the 21st, 2023. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violation that was taken by me on March the 10th, 2022, and April the 10th, 2023, showing the violation.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front gate. Exhibit number 2 notes the fire damaged structure in the year 2021. This was taken from a Google Street View. Exhibit number 3 notes the demo structure sitting idle in the year 2022. Also again, Google Street View. Exhibit number 4 will be an incident report from the Temple Terrace Fire Department that they did respond to the fire back in 2019. Exhibit number 5 is a Temple Terrace Fire Department building stabilization form. As of today, there has been no change to the structure, and I am seeking a ruling. Just to let the chairman know and the board members, the contractor and the property owner did meet with the building official on April the 4th, 2023 to discuss construction questions and the process moving forward.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any questions for the code officer? One at a time.
Nobody is living there, right?
No, sir.
The family.
It's uninhabitable.
Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I had a question. So it stated here that the building permit has expired.
Yes, sir.
So just curious why that's not part of the violation. Wouldn't that be a violation as well?
Not necessarily, sir. With the structure just sitting, has sat for more than 2 years, and we just have never received a lot of traction moving forward. Permits have been pulled, construction has been started on the site,
Okay.
but has stopped. And I know the homeowner has had some issues with contractors. She's probably had 2 or
Okay.
3 at this point, and some
So they did get a new
revisions.
permit, right, out in March?
Yes, sir.
Yes, they have a new.
Oh, so they do have a new
Yeah, they
permit.
get- they
Okay,
got
I
a new
didn't,
permit.
I missed that.
Any other questions for the code officer? Thank you. And the
Yes, sir.
respondent is here, right?
Yes, sir, she is.
He would like to come up and, or he, or she, or both? Have you two been sworn in?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, they have.
They have, okay. So state your name and address for the record, please.
Dunia Ramirez Khadartsev, 5106 East 122nd Avenue, Temple Terrace, Florida.
Okay, are you going to be doing any speaking?
Yeah, we both own.
Okay, he needs to let us know who he is.
My name is Aslanbek Khadartsev. I live by 5106 East 122nd Avenue, Temple Terrace, Florida.
Thank you. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I have some issue with contractors. I have to change contractor for some personal reason that they have some family in a coma and everything. So I try to, to put myself in their shoes. So I let them have some time and, go out of country, but then it's causing me problems. And I trying to reach to the last one, and then I never hear back from him. So only at the last minute, we went to the new contractor. I spoke to Dallas. He told me that, because we already submitted the permit, and he told us that the only thing that he needed is this new contractor to get registered in the city. And that's what we did 8 days ago. The new contractor did fill up the 2 registrations, and I even went and record some documents in the court. So right now I'm only waiting for Dallas. I cannot wait for move back to the neighborhood. I'm sorry it's been stretching so long.
Thank you. Any questions for the respondent? Thank you. You can have a seat. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no further questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I do have a question
Okay.
for code enforcement, I
Go ahead.
guess. So this, what is the requirement for them to come into compliance? Obviously, the house isn't going to be built in a month, so.
We'd like to see construction start. She's been issued permits in the past, and they have all expired. So we need to put her really on the clock and to say, work needs to be done here. It's been more than 3 years that this house has been sitting idle, and we just need this to move forward.
Okay, so getting the new permit does not meet the definition of compliance.
That's correct.
Okay, you need to actually see a workforce out there.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
I have,
one at a time, Samir. I mean, no, you're not Samir. Samir's not here.
I
Rod,
heard
sorry.
somebody say that construction was started and then stopped. I think Lori said that.
Yes, ma'am. It has. As again, this case is, it goes back to 2019. The homeowner has, like I said, got the permit and started construction, but for whatever reason, some work was started, and it stopped.
The work that was started wasn't recent. It was a while back.
It was in 2020, and that was for the demolition of the structure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And which they did. The homeowners have been there cleaning up the property, making sure at least for the neighborhood that it's not an eyesore as far as the grass or anything else like that. But nothing has been done on the structure.
As you heard
to
from the
move forward.
respondent, they have a new general building permit. They supposedly have a new contractor who is waiting to get approved to work in the city limits, and that's where the project stands. But there is no actual construction currently ongoing at the project.
And just the delay, honestly, with the revisions to the plans, that's been at least 2 or 3 times. There's been revisions to the plans that have been submitted. So that's definitely held up the process. Once the plans get submitted, they go into for review. Well, sometimes that takes a little bit, sir. As you know, if there's questions or if there's modifications that the building inspector is requiring, that's additional time.
Okay, any further questions?
Yeah, that was my next question, is how long does it normally take for a contractor? I mean, I know this is kind of a nebulous question, but how long does it typically take for a contractor to be approved by the city, assuming that he meets all the qualifications? Is this something that can happen in 30 days, is what I'm getting at?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so it's conceivable they can start construction in 30 days if we,
Oh, yes.
okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll take this one.
Thank you.
In case number 22-1311, get my cheat sheet out here. I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 5106 East 122nd Avenue. The code violation is section 10-4, subsection B, subsection 4. This motion is based on the sworn testimony that this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith and Mr. and Mrs. Khadartsev. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad. Along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before, what's the next date? May 10th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they're ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion?
So you're asking them to get started, to have construction start within the next 30 days?
Correct.
Okay. Just confirm.
That's how they come into compliance.
Okay.
Any other comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? Motion carries. So you have until May 10th to get construction started. If construction is not started by then, you need to come back and see us and let us know why. And at that time, you can ask, no guarantees, but you can ask for an extension. Okay?
Hopefully, like I said, right now we only wait on Dallas. I made sure that while I saw him the 4th, I asked him, tell me what else do you need? So I'm here with, so I can try to get you as much as I can. Unfortunately, we're not Homestead because we haven't been living in the house for a year. We only, when the house got on fire, we weren't the owners of the house. My stepdad was the owner. So for a while, we couldn't do anything because the house wasn't even our name. And since the fire happened after we could own it or get in Homestead, then that's what I cannot even pull a permit for my own fence, only after we're gonna be building. Unfortunately, if it will be up to me, I would try to do more.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so
Good luck.
much for the extension.
Thank you. Thank you. Next case?
Mr. Chair, we can, on this case, make sure everybody projects when they speak.
Okay.
So that we can-
Gotcha. Thank you. Case number 0734.
City versus Joseph and Alicia Testaseca for the property located at 9804 North 55th Street. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-34 sanitation, keep premises clean, and Section 2-9212 parking driveway standards. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was referred by Director Baroni on February 8, 2023 for miscellaneous household items on the driveway and carport. I generated a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of March 8, 2023. I posted the notice at the property line.
Hang on a second.
We gotta figure out how they can hear this. They need to be able to hear the evidence.
She's having trouble hearing. I can't hear you. I can't hear you all. You're very in trouble.
Not sure, other than getting her a headset.
There's no mic.
Well, the mic is there.
Mic is on, it's up, the volume's up. I think they can probably hear him in the hallway.
Are we cranked up here?
I have no idea.
I know, let's just crank all.
Maybe we can get with RT, make him crank it up.
Get ChatGPT involved here.
We're gonna crank the volume up. Well, he's already done it. Doug, can you get a test for us?
Certainly. How about I start all over again?
Start all over again.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen.
All right, stop there. Is that better? Yes? Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
This case was referred by Director Baroni on February 8, 2023 for miscellaneous household items on the driveway and carport. I generated a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of March 8, 2023. I posted the notice at the property line as the site is posted no trespassing. A copy was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both regular and certified mail, to the owner of record. My reinspection on March 29th showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing and scheduled the case for the April Municipal Code Board meeting. Mrs. Testasica did call me asking for an extension until mid-May. However, code staff felt that this was a health and safety issue for the residents, as we had received a complaint from a concerned neighbor regarding the safety of the residents in an emergency situation, and we felt the issue needed to be addressed as soon as possible. I would like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on March 9th and March 29th, 2023.
We'll accept those, thank you.
These are the photographs that were put in evidence.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posting. Exhibit number 2 shows the miscellaneous household items on the driveway. And exhibit number 3 shows miscellaneous bagged items in the screened carport area. Now, the photos may not be overly indicative of the violations, as we had to take them from the property line. At this time, the site is not in compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Very good. Thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Go ahead, Bill.
So you said there were some safety concerns noted by you or by the citizens? What?
Well, I guess it's a combination of both. We did have a resident that complained or voiced a concern about the safety just due to the amount of debris around the house, that they may not be able to exit the house in a fast and safe manner.
Okay, so it was more for the residents getting, not the neighbor. They were concerned about their ability to get out or get on the street or anything like that?
No, they're concerned about the resident.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Gina?
There's nothing on the sidewalk. I mean, I'm looking at one of the photos, that's not on the sidewalk, right? Everything is on their property.
Right, the first photo is the notice of violation posting. We had to post it at the property line.
Any other questions?
Yes, when you say,
Speak up, Rod.
yes, when you say parking, what's wrong, because is it the debris parking driveway standard? That's the second violation.
Right, there's so much debris on the carport or on the driveway that a vehicle can't park on the driveway. Or can't fully park on the driveway.
The code states that the driveway must remain clear and obstructed. The debris is in the driveway,
Oh,
causing,
you mean all the way down here?
I'm not sure where you're pointing, sir, but
well,
there's a large amount
Closer
of,
to the house.
It doesn't matter. There are debris on the driveway. The code says no debris on the driveway.
But it's not the stuff right here.
No, that appears to be the front yard area that you're
Yeah.
pointing to.
It may not be in the photograph.
Yeah, they said they have restricted on
Yeah, so it's in front of the, looks like it's in front of the car.
Yeah, it looks like it's in front of the car.
Any other questions for the code officers? Go ahead.
Would there be an issue for, like, the fire department to get in, to access the property if there was an issue, whether it's safety or?
There definitely could be, yes, sir.
All right.
Any other questions? Seeing none, did the respondent want to reply? State your name and address before you begin, please.
All I can say is since
No, no,
then,
Before you start, name and address, please.
I'm sorry?
Your name and address.
Oh, Alicia Testaseca, 9804 North 55th Street.
Thank you.
Since then, I have done extensive cleaning of my property. It was 50-something years of living and 3 households of people dying that I had to inherit and do something with. Before they cited me, I started to clean my property. When I got the citation by the mailbox, I called because they wanted me to do it by March the 8th. I said, there's no humanly way possible that I can do that. I said, I've started on it. I need time. Okay, we'll give you time. We'll give you to the end of March. I had asked for at least May 12th. I am the only one that is cleaning up that property. My husband has dementia. He's disabled. He can't help me. I have since then gotten a little help from one of my nephews that's been willing to give me a hand. It's not that I don't want to clean up my property. I'd like nothing better. That I made that as my goal this year for 2023, to get going and do what I can do and clean it all up. All I need, I'm not reneging doing the job and whatever. All I've asked for is time. I'm one person, one human being, and I tell you, I'm getting tired of being pushed, harassed, intimidated, bullied, threatened, stalked, and discriminated against because I'm an elderly person. And I can only do so much. When I was in my 20s, yeah, I could lick the world. But I work, and I work hard. And my neighbors can testify to that. I work every day from early morning until it gets dark to do what I need to do on my property, to clean it up. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm not one that's trashy or anything like that. I obey the laws. But I just, all I've ever asked for is time, because there's just no way. I don't think even a man could do the work in the length of time that they give me. So they had said, okay, we'll extend it to the end of March, and if I see that you are doing, the work and in good faith, then maybe I'll think of extending the time. And what did I do? What did they do? Slap me with a hearing. I didn't ask for a hearing. I asked for time to do the work so that I could get it cleaned up and do what I'm supposed to do. It's just too much for one person. And I can do it, but I need time. I need time. He, poor thing, he can't help me. I do all the work myself. Everything. Outside, the yard, the cleanup. I mean, everything. And it's just me. I mean, how much more can I, do? I just can't do it. We're not here in Russia where people have to do things. This is the United States of America, for goodness sake. Give people time when they ask for time. Give people time to be able to do what they need to do. And it's like I said, I'm not. Things accumulate. They happen. That's life. 50-something years of living there. And like I said, in his family, 3 households, stuff that was left. I don't want all that stuff. I'm trying to get it figured out. What I'm gonna throw away. What I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna, give to my niece who has a place there at the mall. That's all I'm asking for. It's time.
Thank you.
And I mean, don't criticize me. Don't. I'm not a criminal. What, for hoarding things at home? And I know what I have to do. I know that there's would give me no better pleasure than to get that house straightened out. And that was my goal for 2023. But people, they don't, they don't give you a chance. In fact, they don't even know what you're doing. Because before they cited me, I started cleaning up, and my neighbors can tell you that I was. And then I was I swear to God, the day that I got that citation, I almost passed out. I was so upset, so nervous. I said, this is ridiculous. I mean, I'm doing the job. So what do they want? Blood out of a turnip? I mean, I'm doing it.
I think we get it. Thank you.
It's not that I'm not. I can, like I said, I can only do so much. And believe you me, the time my eyes open up in the morning till that gets to be nighttime, I'm out there working, trying to make it, trying to clean it, trying to do what I need to do. I mean, don't be so quick to judge me and just, that's not right. That's not right. That's not how we operate in America, And I just can't. I just can't anymore. What I'm asking for is time. Time from you people. And not a week or 2. I need a few months to get that place done. I've done a lot of cleaning up, but I still need to do some more.
Thank you.
And
Have a
I
seat,
can't
please.
do.
Thank you. Let her sit down, then you can ask your question.
We do need time. If you never or ever walked with a cane, try walking with one. It's not an easy task. And you have to just keep going on with life. Because when you hit 85 and she's 82, we've done our deeds. And when we say we're going to do it, we will do it. But give us time. Thank you.
Thank you. Sit down, then you have a question, Wolf. Any questions for the respondents?
Yes.
Go ahead, Rod.
How much time do you need?
How many days in a year? I mean, we need time,
Oh.
basically.
How much time do you
I,
think?
I would say a good, because there's a lot to do, and I'm including my yard, to do the yard, the landscaping, and my plants are all dying, because I've been doing other things. I would say between 3 to 6 months to clear up everything, and then come and judge me. One person doing the work.
You know, we can give.
Rod,
No, just,
say-
I have a question for,
go ahead, Bill, and then Tina.
that was the question. I thought you mentioned earlier that you said you negotiated maybe May, or you asked for May 12th, but you're saying you need more time than that now, right? That's what originally you said May 12th was when you could have everything cleaned up by May 12th? I thought I heard you say that.
May 12th, it's no.
It's not gonna-
No, I'm not gonna lie to you, because there's a lot of stuff to do.
Right.
And sometimes I'm working against the elements. The rain, I can't go out
Okay,
there and do stuff.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that May 12th's that's not a date anymore.
My back is killing me, but I
Right.
still continue to do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I have another question
Time,
for,
people, time, that's all I want, is time to do this work. What is so difficult about giving people time to do what they're supposed to do?
We understand. Thank you, we understand. Tina?
I've been where you are. So my question is this, and you mentioned 3 to 6 months to clean up your yard, but this is just the driveway that they're talking about, correct?
No,
It's
no.
not.
The carport and the driveway.
Okay, the carport and the driveway, not the rest of the grounds. So if you were just to concentrate on the carport and the driveway, what do you think you would need just for that portion? Would 60 days would you be able to do that in 60 days? Just that portion?
Well, let's put it this way. If in 60 days, I have not been able to accomplish all of that because, like I say, I'm one
Elements,
person.
absolutely, and the elements.
Can I ask for, will you all give me more time?
You would,
The way the process,
Judge me. How can you judge what I have?
no one's judging you. No one's
the
judging.
way the process works, ma'am, is there will be a ruling tonight, there will be a ruling whether or not you are in violation or not. You will be given a deadline to come into compliance. If that deadline is approaching and you're not going to make it, you will be able to come back to this board and ask for an extension, yes. No guarantees that you'll get it, but you may ask, okay? And sometimes we give them out, sometimes we don't, depending on the circumstances. But you have the right to ask. Any other questions?
I just had a question for Code Compliance Officer Alan. So, just a clarification on the compliance issue. Is it strict, it's not just things in the driveway, it's things in the yard as well?
Driveway and carport.
Driveway and carport, okay. And have you seen any significant progress as far as,
The yard area looks a little neater, but it was never really
yeah,
an issue. It's always been the driveway and the carport.
so you haven't seen much progress in that as far as,
Some, but not very much.
okay, all right, thanks, that's all I had.
Maybe they understand. Okay. And seeing no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this.
Thank you.
These are pretty. I'll give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
Okay. Yes, sir. I can do that. In case number 23-0734, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exists on the property located at 9804 North 55th Street. 50, I did say 55th.
55th, yes.
55th Street. Where am I going? Violations are 10-34 and 12-921 subsection 2.
Section 2-921, subsection 2. Not 12.
It is.
It says 12.
12? Mine says
Oh, it is
2.
12? Mine says 2.
It should be 12.
Should be 12? Okay.
Okay. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Douglas Allen and the residents of the property, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before June 14th. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past the set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 a day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. So, ma'am, you have been found in violation of the code. You have until June 14th to get the driveway and the carport cleaned up, okay? If you need more time, you need to come back to see us at our meeting in June and ask for an extension.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you. And just so you're welcome to stay, but you don't have to, okay? Next case, please.
David, can I say something?
No.
Not about the case.
No, not about anything. Okay.
Case number 22-6253, City versus Laurelon Village of Meadowood Condo Association for the property located at 8700 Meadowood Boulevard. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-10213B, exterior walls maintained in good repair, and Section 8-10214A, fences maintained in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on November 17, 2022, from Director Baroni, who observed the problems at the location. My inspection noted the awnings of the buildings to be severely stained, rain gutter damaged on a unit, along with roof debris and exterior walls being stained and dirty. This time I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of December 30, 2022. Posted the notice at the association office as well as City Hall, also mailed copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. Shortly after posting the notice of violation, I was contacted by Ms. Darwish to discuss the needed repairs. I met her at the location and advised her of the needed repairs. I ascertained from her that the items could not be completed by the compliance date since the next board meeting was not until the end of January, at which time the repairs will be budgeted and approved. I granted the extension. My inspection on March 21st, 2023 noted no change. I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the violations.
I'll accept that. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 is a notice posted at the office complex. Exhibit number 2 is damaged rain gutter, stained awning. Exhibit 3, stained awnings, roof debris, stained walls. Exhibit 4, stained awnings and walls. Exhibit 5, stained awning and wall. And Exhibit 6, stained awning. As of today's date, it's still out of compliance.
Any questions for the code officer?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Bill.
make sure I'm on the right case here. This is 6253? Is that where we're on?
Yeah, 6253, yeah.
And the violations that were listed, they were different than the ones that I see on my, I thought that there was a,
I have 8-10213C,
yeah,
810213H, 810213B.
that's the three that I have on my, but I thought Jennifer said some different violations. I just heard two.
Should be -8-10213C, 8-10213H,
13B, yeah.
13B.
Maybe my hearing's going then. I heard something different.
All right, we're all on the same page. That's
Okay,
great.
all right.
Any other questions for the code officer? Seeing none, the respondent is here. correct?
Respondent is here, sir.
Come on up. Tell us your name and address, and then the floor is yours.
My name's Leon Watts, 8412 Laurelon Place. I live in Laurelon. I'm president of the HOA. We have 341 homes there comprising Meadowood. Laurelon's a little small side part. This is all really a matter of timing. About 3 years ago, a group of us took over the board of a community that was really in bad shape. We've spent 3 years changing the thing. We're proud of it now. What we've ran into is a lot of wood damage, which we replaced in Laurelon, particularly 3 years ago, and knowing that, and it was painted at the time, knowing that it needed to be painted again. That's the brown stuff. That's not great paint. At the same time, we had an irrigation problem. So rather than piecemeal and put things together, we spent $180,000 on new irrigation because we had 80 broken sprinkler heads in Laurelon alone that were spraying buildings with brown stripes and stuff. We didn't want to paint until we had that taken care of. So in April of 2021, we paid $180,000 for a new irrigation system, told it would be done in a year. I approved it being finished last Friday. They were a year past because of COVID, personnel. The company that we hired just couldn't get the job done. The last section they did was Laurelon. So Laurelon, I approved it being finished. And while that was going on, our manager got us 3 quotes for painting because it's $70,000 to paint those buildings. I want it done. I live in Laurelon, that little community, not the big community. I live in the little one. Pictures of my house. So we have the 3 bids. Now that the job was finished last Friday, our next board meeting is this coming Thursday, next Thursday, where we will approve one of those bids and let the painting start. The painting will be done. As far as the awnings go, 12/19, the board approved awnings. On January 18th, we paid $17,000, almost $18,000 deposit on our awnings. They're all custom made. They're just not ready yet. So what we're trying to do, and I think one of the other violations was roof, leaves and debris on roofs.
And the
gutters were...
And the gutters, okay. Our gutter, Laurelon itself sits under a canopy of oaks, the entire thing, 1 or 2 buildings out of it. So leaves have always been an issue. That's kind of why things degrade. 4 times a year we have those cleaned. There's one small section, I think they've been done. If you came back now, it doesn't look like that. If you came back now, there's 2 small sections. To put the awnings up, we have to rent a lift, and we can get the 2 last little parts and that high gutter, that 1 bent gutter. It's very high. Our maintenance guy is not approved to go 2nd floor without a lift. So it even says on our awning thing that we have to rent a lift for that. So we're going to do the whole thing at the same time. This coming Thursday, we'll approve the paint. We'll accept the bid. We've got a company waiting to do it now that we can, instead of doing it a year ago, having to redo it again. So I got a lot of pride in my community. That's why I do not like being on the board, but I wanted to fix this community. So as soon as this projects are done, I'm off the board. I'm done, because it's been a trial, and we've done everything we can. And I can show you, awnings are ordered, bids are there. Thursday they get approved, painting gets done. We just replaced our pool in there because that's been a violation over the years with the city. We just redid it, so it's not going to be a problem. Gates, we're doing resealing all the asphalt in the community, that sort of thing. All this is going to be done in the next few months. And it's all in the plans, it's all got receipts, it's all scheduled. We just had to let this one project that held us down for quite some time get finished. And finally they did it. So I appreciate your time. We're trying to get this done. Nobody wants it done more than me. I live there. Okay?
Any questions for the respondent? Bill?
So as far as the, it sounds like the painting and the gutter repair and cleaning off the roofs, that's something that can be done soon, right? Relatively soon.
The painting we'll approve. We have 3 bids for painting.
Right, but
you know which one we're taking. That'll be approved at our next board meeting. We have to approve it at the board meeting.
When's the meeting?
Next Thursday.
Okay, so.
It's already on the list, and we will approve one of those bids on Thursday. The companies are waiting for the bids to come through to paint that.
The only thing it sounds like it could take some extended amount of time is the awnings.
The awnings, I think we're close on the awnings, but they're all custom sewn awnings. So they have been ordered. We are waiting on them. We're trying to get it so the painting and the awnings are the same time because the painters have to take the awnings down.
Right.
So what we're trying to do is have the awnings taken down, paint, then the awnings go back up.
So is it possible you could have all this done in 30 days?
God, I hope so.
Okay, all right. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Rod? Same question, okay.
The timing.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. You can have a seat.
Sure.
Basically, they're waiting to paint. There's no requirement that you have to have an awning. If they remove the awnings from the buildings, they're in compliance. That's simple, so they can remove the awnings, paint.
Yeah, but then they got to bring the lift back and,
Yeah, okay.
And when they get the new ones, they put them back up.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 22-6253, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exist on the property located at 8700 Meadowood Boulevard. Violations 8-102-13C, 8-102-13H, 8-102-13B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from code enforcement, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before, I'll say June 14th. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to throw in that I just think we need to get back to our policy we had before of $25 per violation. In this case, it's probably a moot point because it sounds like they're going to have everything done in a short period of time before the next meeting, but I still think we need to at least respect the code enforcement officer's work and diligence in identifying multiple violations. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
And I will remind you that the respondent did say 30 days would be plenty.
Well, it's anything with custom work.
I know you would love more, but
I can't do anything about how fast they can make awnings.
Right.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, well, and
But you don't have to have the awnings to be in compliance. So
Well, and that's why I went with the 60 days, because we've seen how much progress they've made and the efforts put forth, which is why I went with the 60 days.
your call. You have a second. So
I'm okay with the $25 per violation.
okay, if you're okay with it, then
Right, so I can amend my my motion to do $25 per violation, total of $75 per day.
okay. We have an amended motion. Whoever
Second.
seconded the first one should second the second one.
Second.
She did.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? Motion carries. Okay, so you have until June 14th. If everything is not done by June 14th, You need to come back and see us and let us know why and request an extension. No guarantees you'll get it, but you're welcome to request it. If you don't show up and ask for a request or you don't get the extension, you'll be incurring a fine of $75 per day. Okay, thank you. And again, you're welcome to stay, but no need to.
Another board meeting for you.
All right, next case is 1640.
Case number 23-1640, City versus Elvira Machado. For the property located at 12609 North 52nd Street, the case is before the board based on alleged repeat violation of Section 12-921, parking residential property. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case this evening is a repeat violation case which was presented by me at the MCEB hearing on July the 13th, 2022, in case number 22-1672. The board found the respondent to be in violation, however, the property was brought into compliance prior to the hearing. On January 21st, February the 1st, February the 10th, March 7th, 2023, I observed the vehicle parked on the yard grass, as this is a transient violation. On March the 25th, 2023, Director Baroni also observed the vehicle on the front yard grass. A notice of repeat violation was prepared on the 28th of March, 2023, and was hand-delivered to resident Tony Machado. Mr. Chairman, I have met with the resident several times and discussed the parking code and the ways to rectify the violation. At this time, I would like to submit the MCEB order in case number 22-1672 and photographic evidence taken by Director Baroni and myself on January 21st, February the 1st, February 10th, March 7th, March the 25th, and March the 29th, 2023, showing vehicles parked on substandard material grass.
Thank you. We'll accept those.
Exhibit number 1 shows the vehicle parked on the front yard grass. Exhibit 2, vehicle parked on front yard grass. 3, 4, 5, vehicle again parked on south side yard, front yard grass. Number 6 shows the vehicle parked on the south side yard grass. At this time, the property is in compliance, and I would like to submit an affidavit of compliance. However, I am seeking a lump sum ruling of $300. $50, as this is a repeat violation. 6 dates that I have showing the vehicle out of compliance. For the dates the property remained out of compliance, it would be a total of $300. I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance, Mr. Chairman.
We'll accept that. Thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, is the respondent here?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to say something?
Well,
Name and address first, please.
thank you. Oh, my name is Maria Luis Machado Ruiz. I'm here representing my mother, who cannot be here. She's 92 years old. She's got dementia, and she lives there with my brother. And actually, it's my brother who commits the violations. But he's also a sick person. And I understand that it's not correct to park in, wherever he wants. But sometimes he suffers from congestive heart failure, and he's got diabetes. And his liver is also in bad shape. Sometimes he parks as closest to the door as he can possibly do, to carry things in. Or he used to be a very active person. He still is. He's always around the house doing something, working on the cars and all that. That's not an excuse. It's an explanation. I guess if we have to pay the fee, we will. I cannot guarantee that this will not happen again due to the circumstances. It's not only his car. Sometimes, since the driveway has 3 cars already parked there, Some people come in and, you know, I noticed that one of the cars was not his, that usually parks there. That used to be he's the car of the lady that goes there and takes care of my mother, you know. She goes there and bathes her and feeds her and all that. And so that's basically it.
Thank you. You can have a seat.
Well,
Any other questions?
yeah, so one of the pictures shows some covered vehicles in the driveway.
Yes.
Are those vehicles, do they work? Are they move? Is there a reason why they're covered?
Well, my brother has 4 vehicles. So he uses 2 of them constantly, and the other ones he has them covered.
It's not
because he's
part of the violation, so.
Well, I'm just asking if there's a way for them, yeah, it's not part of the violation, but if there's,
Move them, I guess. is what-
yeah, if you can, if the cars could be moved and then you wouldn't have this problem.
But the problem is that it does not have a space to park in the driveway. It does have it, okay? Even with the other cars did that. But sometimes he parks as close to the door, the front door, as he possibly can. Because he's out of breath, he takes 10 steps and he's out of breath. And he has to take like groceries in or this and that. And then, you know, he just sits on the couch and, you know.
We're just trying to find a solution for you.
Yeah, I know. As I said, it's no excuse, but, you know.
Different, we see in the pictures, there are different vehicles.
Yes,
So it's
because the driveway is full sometimes and other people come in and park in, you know. in
Any
the
other
front yard.
questions?
I myself have done that.
Question, Lori. For Lori? Okay. You can have a seat, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
When you discussed remediation steps?
Yes, sir.
For the resident,
Brian.
were they like permanent remediation steps, like you can park on the street, or you can, like, or is it just temporarily get it off the ground?
No, sir. We've definitely discussed permanent remedies for the violation of the parking. I have spoke with Mr. Machado about expanding the driveway. He has 2 vehicles that are covered on the driveway. If those vehicles weren't there, then you would have more room to park your truck and maybe not have to get close to the door. As well as expanding the driveway, he does have the room to be able to do that. And I know that I have discussed that as well with Ms. Machado here and advised her of in the past. I have discussed the parking code, obtaining the permit to expand the driveway, which he has the ability to do to rectify the problem, and he hasn't done it. But I have advised Ms. Machado when the instances have taken place. I have talked to Tony till I'm blue in the face, and he's good for a little bit and then seems to get back in violation. But I have let his sister know when these times have happened. This is what's going on. It's a very, very slippery slope. If this behavior continues, we will be in a repeat violation case as we are this evening.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
Just an explanation of the $50 per day, how you came.
As a repeat violation, Bill, normally first time, you guys are very, very consistent. Thank you for being consistent as far as the $25, but I feel that this is a repeat violation. As much work as I have done as far as educating with the homeowner, taking my time, speaking with the sister as well, I feel like the fine should be a little bit more hefty than $25. Again, this is a repeat violation, not that this is the first time coming before the board.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And one more.
Go ahead.
For the respondent, not.
Yes, sir.
Hey, come on up to the podium, ma'am.
So knowing that Ms. Smith has discussed options and you're well aware of permanent remediation for this problem, you made the comment that you can't promise that this won't happen again. Do you still feel that way, or do you feel like you could take steps to prevent this?
I have taken steps, and she has been She has talked with me about it. I tell her, if she finds anything wrong, to let me know, so I'll, deal with my brother. I'm sorry he could not be here. He's a younger brother, but the shape he's in, he looks like my dad, like my father, for instance. We'll try to do better. We'll try, you know, he has always good intentions. But like she says, you know, sometimes it's, you know, also due to his health, also due to his, he's got, you know, it's got also mental issues because of the condition that he's in. There's not enough blood, for instance, that goes through his head with his heart working at like 15-20%. So sometimes he's like out there. And like my mother, she's the homeowner, but she's in La La Land because she's got dementia, she's an invalid. I have her on camera most of the times because I'm afraid she'll fall. So it's, you know.
So is there anybody there that can help solve this problem? Like maybe apply for the driveway widening permits and get a construction crew up to do that? Or, you know, take other remediation steps that Ms. Smith has discussed? Or is that just not going to happen?
Huh? No, of course, you know, I could go and see if my brother can go and get the permits, you know, or I could get the permits too. I mean, but I don't know, because the problem is that it's not actually not having the place to park in the driveway. The thing is, he comes home, he's very tired, he's got groceries to take in or whatever to take in, and he parks there. And then he either forgets or he's too tired to go back and, you know, park the car where he should. So it's like, and I don't live there, you know, I tried my best to do, but like I said, I'll talk to him and, you know, I'll enforce what you guys want us to do, and let's see, hopefully we'll get that sorted.
Mr. Chairman, if I
Any other questions?
Questions for you, David. How do we do this repeat?
There should be
already in compliance.
There's a.
But it's already in compliance.
Yeah.
Well, it's already in compliance, but you have for a repeat violation, you can fine them for the days that it was not in compliance, which she already listed 6 days. 6 times 50 is 300.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, that would, if you don't mind, sir, I'd like to add one more thing, just to let the board know as well. In addition to the vehicles, 2 vehicles being on the street that are covered, certainly, if those vehicles weren't there, the gentleman would have an opportunity to pull up on the driveway. I know the property very, very well.
Apparently.
So from the driveway to the door is not that far away. So if we could alleviate those 2 vehicles, exactly, if we could get the vehicles out of there, have Tony park on the driveway. Code staff to try to even help, and this is also with Tom's permission, of course, where the property is located at. It's very, very close to a stop sign. The road is very, very narrow. 52nd is very, very narrow. People are trying to turn and pass, they cannot. If Mr. Machado has his truck parked all the way out on the street, vehicles won't be able to pass. It's going to be a safety issue. Because of that, we have allowed, I also have talked to Director Bernie to let him come over and park on the grass to avoid an accident. So code staff has definitely bent over backwards. Spoken to Ms. Machado, spoken to Tony, just wanting to try to bring the property into compliance. But we have done everything that we could possibly do to try to help.
Thank you.
Just want to let you know that. Thank you.
If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 23-1640, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Terrace Code exist on the property located at 12609 North 52nd Street. The applicable codes is 12-921 parking. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Lori Smith, along with any evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which was received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the respondent be found a repeat violator, as defined by the City Code Section 1-63. Because the respondent has been found to have violated the same provision of the City Code within the previous 5 years, regardless of the property address. I further move that a daily fine be assessed for the repeat violation from the time of the notice of the repeat violation until the time of the repeat violation is corrected. Is that
The wording is fine, but you
Yeah.
can, but we're modifying that based on Lori's recommendation.
Right, we're gonna modify that to the mentioned dates. Do I need?
Yeah, you don't need to mention them again.
Okay. Upon considering the following factors regarding a violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $300 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any further, any?
Is it
300 what?
You said a day.
Did I? I'm sorry, I moved, no.
He said 300 for the days that were mentioned by
For the
Lori.
days mentioned by, yes.
All right, I
yes.
misunderstood too.
Yeah,
A lump sum of $300, to be absolutely clear.
okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries. So if, ma'am, your property has been found in violation, there is a fine that must be paid of $300. How long do they have to pay that fine, Tom?
I think 30 days.
Yeah, okay, so you have 30 days to pay the fine, okay? And if it happens again, you're now in a repeat, and those fines can grow substantially, so it'd be a good time to have a discussion with your brother, okay? And again, you don't have to stay, but you're welcome to if you want to.
So do I pay the fine to
Pay the-
City of Temple Terrace?
Yeah,
Where do I pay it?
the clerk's office.
The clerk's office?
Yeah,
Yes.
okay? Next case, please. Then this one will be under unfinished business, case number 225967. That's you? Yeah, I'll call you up. Just have a seat. We'll get to you.
Case number 22-5967, City versus Vincent Grabaskas Sr. and Vincent Grabaskas Jr. for the property located at 7609 Leon Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight.
And I assume you're here for an extension?
I'm not, that's not me.
Oh, two, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, come on up. State your name and address for the record.
My name is Vincent Grabowskis. I live at 7609 Leon Avenue in Temple Terrace. Yes, I am asking for an extension. Last time I came in, we were waiting on an approval of the paint color to paint the house. That got approved on the 21st of this last month. I didn't get notified. I had emailed, got notified maybe like a week later. I just bought the paint a few days ago, waiting now on the people to come and help paint it. They have not given me a day, but I told them about the situation, and they assured me that they would get it done in this month.
Remind me what the paint has to do with the fence.
Oh, this is for the fence? Oh, I thought I was here for the paint.
Exterior walls is one of the.
59, yeah, exterior walls, but it also says fences maintained. It could be.
Right.
Say again?
The latch, I think the latch, you testified about the latch.
Yeah, I took the gate off. I was kind of assuming that if I take the gate off and there's just an opening there, that might be okay.
All right, so that,
Yeah, I think
apparently that
that's-
is good.
that one's good.
Okay. I do plan on maybe putting a gate there.
Okay, because one of the violations is fences, but you're saying he's in compliance now because we removed the gate?
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha. Okay,
And then, yeah, sorry, I was on the paint. Yeah.
You'd already solved the one problem.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
all right, so he's here to ask for an extension. I just need a motion to either approve or deny. Go ahead, Rod.
Yes, you need 30 days, right?
Yes, I don't have a start date, but they said it would be done in a month.
I would like to make a motion in case 225967 to extend the deadline till May 10th, 2023.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, okay, you have an extension until May 10th. If something happens and it's not done by May 10th, you need to come back and see us again.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Next case, we have, let's just, we'll start over here. What case is yours, sir? He's next? Okay. 0051, is that right? Yes, sir. Okay. Case number 0051.
Case number 23-0051, City versus SR Oak Sub LLC for the property located at 207 Redwood Avenue. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-102 13B exterior walls maintained in good repair and Section 8-102 18A sanitation shared area, keep premises clean. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on January 4th, 2023 for stained exterior walls and unmanicured vines on the exterior walls. I went directly to a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of January 20th, 2023. I posted the notice at the site as well as at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My reinspection on March 20th showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing on that date, and the case was scheduled for the April Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on January 5th and March 20th.
We'll accept those, thank you.
The site is in partial compliance, and I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance for Section 8102 18A, the unmanicured vines, which is sanitation shared area, but the stained walls are not in compliance. They were pressure washed, but the walls still have some staining on them. And I'm seeking a ruling on 8102 13B for the stained walls.
Okay, so Ernie, so we still need to have a motion on the one that's in compliance, but since it's in compliance, there's no fine, right?
Can I ask him a question?
In a minute.
Yeah, we have a,
We have in the motion to.
Yeah, we have language for that.
Okay, very good. What's your question?
The photos that you have,
Yes, ma'am.
is that the current situation of that stained wall, or is that?
It's still stained. It has been cleaned, or I assume was pressure washed. I don't know how it was cleaned, but it was cleaned in some fashion, but it still isn't.
But it's not that bad?
she's asking if this is an accurate
Is
picture
that
of the
accurate
current
of what it
condition.
is now, or was that?
It's close to that. It's not as bad, but it's close to that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the code officer? Thank you. Assume the respondent wants to say something?
Yes.
Come on up.
Yes, sir. Name and address, yes?
Yes, please.
Hello, I'm Alexander Gonzalez at 207 Redwood Avenue. So, yes, when we got the compliance, I admittedly didn't read it all the way through, and I removed the vines within a few days because I was like, okay, it's the vines. That's what I need to fix. As far as the area not being clean, I cleaned that up a little bit too. The stained walls, I didn't really realize were an issue until we got the notice to appear in front of court. I did pressure wash it to the best of my personal ability as someone who had never pressure washed before that day. And the staining, frankly, just won't come off short of me peeling the paint off the thing. So I know this was mainly given towards the rental company that I'm renting from, but I felt the need to come in front of court myself and present my case.
All right. Any questions for the respondent?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I mean, is the person that owns the property, do they have any restitution plans, any way to paint the house? Or?
There's a lot of other issues with the property that they don't want to take care of. Frankly, it's a whole investment company, or it's like a rental company.
Right.
So I've complained to them a couple times about various things in the house, even on day one of moving in. I have pictures from day one of certain things that they were like, okay, well, it's as is. So not assuming that they will paint the walls, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I was just curious. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Thank you. You can have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
By the way, your children are fantastic.
Wonderful.
When they want to be.
Mine would not have.
Or when they're tired.
If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
This is the case, right?
Here's your right to. I think that's it.
There's one that has. Yeah, zero.
No, they're trying to figure out what motion to read.
Oh, it's on the back page.
Yeah, it's this one.
On the back of the first page.
You looking for the violation or the,
Wait,
or the script? He's got the right script.
I was hiding it.
Okay.
In case number 230051, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exist on the property located at 7 Redwood Avenue with the applicable violation code section 8-102 subsection 13 subsection B. And section 8-102 subsection 18 subsection BA. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine for the violation of code section 8-102 subsection 18 subsection A.
13A.
Because the violation were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing. I further move that the remaining violations be corrected on or before May 10th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with the order on or before the day they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any other previous violation committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So the property has been found in violation of the code. If it's not brought into compliance by May 10th, a fine of $25 per day will begin to accrue.
May I ask a couple questions then?
You can ask the code officer that is responsible afterwards, okay? Next case.
Thank
you.
Next case is going to be 1334.
This one.
Yeah, because
Case number 23-1334, City versus Catherine Lockwood Fleming for the property located at 206 Greencastle Avenue. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-10 13C. I think it's 8-102. 8-102?
8-102.
Yes, 8-102 13C. Roofs maintained in good repair, and Section 10-34, sanitation, keep premises clean. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening once again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on March 14th, 2023 for tree debris in the driveway and a tarp on the roof indicating the roof is not in good repair and has defects which might allow rain or cause dampness in the walls or interior portion of the structure. The code violations were caused when a large oak tree from the neighbor's yard fell onto the roof, causing damage to the residence. I prepared a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of March 24th, 2023. I posted the notice at the front door, and a copy of the notice of violation was posted at the City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. A reinspection on March 28th showed no change, so a notice of hearings prepared on that date, and the case was scheduled for the April Municipal Code Board meeting. The resident did contact me by text on March 7th and 15th, and today as well, stating she was working on repairing the interior damage. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on March 14th and 28th, 2023.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation. Exhibit number 2 shows the tarp on the roof. I would like to submit an affidavit of compliance for the debris in the driveway, which is section 1034, but the site is not in full compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling on section 8102.13C.
We'll accept that. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, is the respondent here? Okay. Come on up, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, I'm Kathy Lockwood, 206 Greencastle Avenue.
Okay, floor is yours.
Just a lot to work on. Large oak tree fell on my house. It has 2 large holes that have also affected the attic. So I'm getting quotes. I'm also working with FEMA to get more money because part of it, I'm looking at like $20,000 to get things fixed. And so just a matter of getting quotes from roof companies, trying to find less expensive alternatives to get it fixed. And again, like I said, FEMA gave me the standard $300. They didn't realize I was without electricity for almost 2 months, and they weren't aware of the damage to the roof, because when they did their inspection, the tree covered basically half my house. Thank God for my next door neighbor who likes to chainsaw. So we have been working together, my neighbors and I, and Officer Allen have been in contact ever since it happened. And so fortunately the debris is gone, and now it's just a matter of getting quotes for fixing the roof. There's 2 large holes in it, and the interior damage that I've been working on, getting that cleaned up too. So that's just it's just been a matter of time and money getting that fixed.
Any questions for the respondent?
You think in 30 days you can have this done, or or what do you think?
I would like one of the other gentlemen said, I would like this to be fixed more than anybody in the world.
Require a permit to?
Oh, yeah.
Of course it does, roof.
Yeah, the whole roof is going to have to be fixed, and also I'm not familiar with.
Fly until she gets a roofer.
Gotta get a quote first.
Gotta get a contractor.
Yeah, there's damage underneath the roof. Yeah, so I also want to get in an engineer as well and look at that. But yeah, it's not just like there's a hole in the roof I can patch. It's a hole, and as you saw in the picture, fortunately it's just over my driveway, but my insurance also wants me to get a whole new roof as well. And I'm working on ways to kind of avoid that and put my money towards getting the damage fixed that's in the back of the house.
Is that roof over the garage?
Oh, yes.
So it's not like a bedroom or?
Doesn't matter.
Well,
No, I know, it doesn't matter, but.
it's a garage.
Looking at the safety of the situation, and we're coming in.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing in there that, it's like a storage area right now. So, it's not a safety issue for me. Fortunately, thank God it hit where it did, but, it's just been a matter of getting quotes and, getting, money together to have that fixed, both the inside and the outside part.
Do you think at least within the next 30 days you'd be able to pick a contractor and kind of get the process started? Because I mean, we all understand it's a process, but do you think you'd at least get the ball rolling on it?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't bring my notes for this because I was kind of like that other person. I looked at the back and I thought, okay, we're still talking about the debris, and I didn't see the tarp part, so I didn't bring my notes for that. But yeah, definitely, I can, at least do that. Still coming up with the money part of it, but yeah, I should be able to do at least that much. Yes, definitely.
Any other questions? Go ahead,
I'm
Bill.
just curious, when did the tree fall on the house?
It fell during Hurricane Ian, the very end of I believe it was September, because I was out of electricity through into November, so, yeah.
So it's been a few months that the roof's been damaged, right?
Yeah, but the thing that stopped me from being able to do anything was the tree was completely on my house, and so in fact that's why I didn't have electricity for so long, because we had to take it, and like I said, my neighbor fortunately was able to. We didn't have to spend thousands hiring somebody. He, along with my other neighbors, because it affected 4 yards, were able to cut through it little by little. And it was only until probably, I would have to look, I've been documenting it with pictures, probably a couple of months ago or less, that it was fully off the roof so that people could actually get up there. There's also an electrical line running out there that they put it in a different place than the old one when they came back to fix it. But yeah, mostly it was a matter of waiting to get the tree gone and the debris out of the yard. And we're talking like this tall of a trunk. So yeah, it just took us a while to get the debris out of the yard. But now everything is officially off of my property, so people can get back into there to be able to look at it, because up until then you couldn't even get, or I wouldn't want somebody to try to navigate the tree to get up on the roof. So
Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you, ma'am. Have a seat. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I like that next one. This has got compliance and,
Yeah, you're a pro. You're
1034 is in compliance.
you're a pro at that now.
yes,
So
I'm-
you've been practicing.
I'll do that one again.
Thank you.
Okay. In case number 231334, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 206 Green Castle Avenue, with the applicable violations, Section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection C, and Section 10-34. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer and other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of this record of this hearing. I further move that there will be no fine imposed on for the violation code section 10-34, because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing. I further move that the remaining violations be corrected on or before May 10th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order or on or before the day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date for set for compliance, upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator. I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Go ahead. Not too late for questions. Sorry. Go ahead.
Given the experience that we've had recently with everybody coming in with busted roofs and having issues with engineers, which sounds like she needs, I'd almost want to say make it 2 months, just because it's going to take her more than a month just to get somebody to come look at it.
We typically like to keep it a month. That way we keep some interest in our part.
I doubt she's going to ignore us.
Yeah.
But she's not going to make any progress in a month. I mean, we can guarantee it. We can nearly guarantee it.
I was considering giving it the 2 months. However, this happened, and I'm, I asked. Doesn't seem that anything except that focusing on the tree being removed has happened, which is,
Well, nothing else could.
I'm glad. But, as David always says, they can always come back in 1 month and ask for an extension, whether we granted, I just wanted to see some action faster, because that's a hole in the roof,
I get that, but at the same time, I mean, there was literally nothing that could be done until the tree was taken apart, right? It's not like she didn't do anything, it was that it just took time. And this is just gonna continue to take time. I think back to the one fellow that we had that had to come back 12 times to tell us the same thing every month. And it was outside of his spirit control. And this sounds like it's gonna run into the same thing. Sorry, Tina.
I agree with David. Why drag her back here every 30 days? When she clearly is,
I can amend. I can amend
the
it
one
to,
violation
June
is.
14th.
Bill, I think Bill would
Yeah,
like to say something.
I agree with Rod. I mean, I think that we pretty much said if she can go out for quotes, there's some progress that can be made that isn't a complete roof repair that we need a report, but I think we need to have some status on that to have us feel good about the fact that there is something happening. I mean, I don't know, I'm torn. I agree I understand what you're saying, but I also
wanted to mention, because, you know, I don't want to say, if it was me, I would drag it as long as, because it's in the garage, but, you know, that's why I asked her where that hole. So that, I don't want it to be dragging on, just be taken care of
Yeah,
as soon as
and
possible.
just so you know procedurally, you're not required to amend your motion. It's up to you, since you made the motion. So certainly you can, but you're not required to.
But, you know, I'm gonna consider, because she needs engineering permit and all that, I'll amend it to June 14th.
Okay. Okay, we have an amended motion. Whoever seconded it the first time would please second the second motion.
I'll second that.
Did you second the first? Okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second on an amended motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? Motion carries. Okay, ma'am, so you have until June 14th to bring the property into compliance. If for some reason you haven't been able to do that, you need to come back and see us and request an extension. And again, there's no guarantees that you will get an extension, but it's your right to request one.
I'm not allowed to ask a question again.
If you have some questions, you can ask the code officer.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you. Next case is going to be 6420.
Okay.
Case number 22-6420, City versus Elyce M. Tate, for the property located at 11102 North 61st Street. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-28A1, permits, application required. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on December the 1st, 2022. My inspection revealed work without permit for the rear patio enclosure. At that time, I left a door hanger with the reinspection date of the 19th of December, 2022. My inspection on January the 8th of 2023 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with the compliance date of the 13th of February, 2023. Affidavit of service was obtained by phone call verification from Elyce Tate. Mr. Chairman, David Corbin contacted me about the work at the residence on January 21st and February 7th, 2023. David stated he was having difficulty in reaching the building official, so I suggested he email Dallas as well so he could ascertain what was needed to obtain the permit. Also, I have spoken to Ms. Tate. She stated she would be in touch with an engineer firm to draw up the plans and have them submitted to the city for approval. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations taken by me on December the 1st, 2022 and January the 31st, 2023.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
An aluminum patio?
Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2, 3, 4, and 5 shows work without permit. You can see the patio structure on the back of the house started. Exhibit number 6 shows the stop work order in Central Square. As of today's date, the site is not in compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Who was, you mentioned David Corbin?
Yes, sir. That's the gentleman that Ms. Tate was going to get to do the work, to do the patio. And he reached out and said that he was having difficulty in reaching the building official by phone. I suggested that he email Dallas as well and just stay on it until he got a hold of him. I didn't hear back from him anymore, but I've had a couple conversations with Ms. Tate, and she definitely wants to bring the property into compliance, and she's working with an engineer firm right now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this work actually started without obtaining a permit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wow.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I guess the respondent want to say something?
Yes, sir.
Come on up, name and address for the record, please.
Elyce Tate, 11102 61st Street. Temple Terrace 33610.
Okay.
617.
There you go. Okay, floor is yours.
I'm currently waiting. Okay, so Dallas has been out. We did get a hold of him, and we got a hold of him because we had questions before we were, I mean, essentially, I just took this house over in a divorce situation, so I've never dealt with all of this. My son, I have renters live there. It was our first house. We love this house. It's had a lot of work done to it, so it's a treasured possession that I want to take care of. When the porch collapsed, it was already after I had spent, I don't know, in the ballpark of 30 or 40,000 because of it not being taken care of before I obtained the property. So I was trying to figure out the best way to get the aluminum roof had caved in. I'm giving you way more information than you probably want, but I was trying to avoid. I don't know about permits. This is a first go around for me with all of this, and the porch aluminum roof just caved in. We were just trying to put it back up, essentially. So I hired someone who is qualified to put the structure back up. So as he's putting it back up, we get these notifications. Didn't take them as seriously as we should have. We did stop work on the property, but we were trying to pursue Dallas because in the end, I've already spent $12,000 fixing it, trying to save a few thousand and trying to understand what it was that we needed in terms of permitting and that kind of thing. So he came out with us to the property, whatever day it was. It's been a few weeks now. And, let us know what needed to be done, what we needed from the engineer. He kind of looked at the work that was done and said, good job, it's almost done. My next door neighbor at that property, Mr. Nagamiya, is been an engineer at the city of Tampa for years. So I reached out. Dallas suggested maybe I reach out to him. Maybe that will help save some money. So he is working with a firm, and I talked to him again today. I was like, my hearing is today. I need this. So it's any day now is what he says to me. I should be able to get, the plans are all submitted to him, and they're all approved and done and ready to go. For me, I need to get those plans in, and I have a contractor ready to meet me to get the permit. So we can finish all of this work. So that's where this is.
Any other questions? And just for your edification and clarification, the violation is the permit only. She doesn't have to have the work done, but she has to have the permit. Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I had a question.
You have a question now? Go ahead.
Did you start the permitting process yet?
We can't until we have all the plans to give to the permitting office.
So you don't have drawings, you don't have...
We do now.
Do it now.
It's all into the engineering firm. We're
just
just
submitted
waiting
it.
on, the engineering firm has been back and forth with David with some questions, and that's all done. And according to Mr. Nagamiya, who is getting all of that approved for me through this engineering firm, he said it's ready to go. It'll be momentarily. Like I was hoping it would be today.
May 10th, you think that you'll have everything done?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if I get it tomorrow, I'm going to the permit office as soon as it's in my hand. Yep.
Any other questions? Thank you, ma'am. You can have a seat.
Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll do this one.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, in case number 22-6420, I move the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace Code exists on the property located at 1102 North 61st Street. Code violation is section 8-28, subsection A, subsection 1. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith and Ms. Tate, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and a notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before May 10th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Okay, so you have been found in violation. You have until May 10th to bring the property into compliance. If that property is not brought into compliance by May 10th, you'll be start incurring a fine of $25 per day. However, it's your right to ask for an extension. That means you have to come back and see us, okay? Good luck. Next case is 0452.
Where's, oh, there it is. I see it.
Case number 23-0452, City versus Gregory Brian Ellingson, for the property located at 223 South River Hills Drive. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-3B, sanitation, grass weeds. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated January 25, 2023. My inspection at the time noted the front yard grass of the residence to be overgrown. This time I left the door hanger with a compliance date of January 28, 2023. My reinspection on January 31st, 2023 noted no change, so I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of February 7, 2023. Posted a notice at the front door of the residence as well as City Hall. Mail copies both certified, regular mail to the address of the registered owner. During my inspection on February 9, 2023, I noted the front yard grass of the residence cut. At this time, I closed the case, placing it in compliance. On March 15, 2023, I observed the yard grass to be overgrown again. Since it was within 45 days and the violation reoccurred, it was set for the MCEB. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence.
Accept that.
Exhibit number 1 is the notice posted at the door. Exhibit 2 to 3 is the overgrown front yard. As of this afternoon, when I drove by, has been an attempt to cut the front yard, but it's still overgrown, so it's out of compliance.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Go ahead.
What do you mean an attempt? Like,
It's poorly cut.
like going out there with like a manual push mower or something?
No, it's just not crisp and clean. It's splotchy. It's not even.
So it looks like somebody attempted to cut it and then just
Yes.
said, forget this, I'm done.
Any other questions? Thank you.
The respondent is here.
Come on up, state your name and address for the record.
Gregory Brian Ellingson, 223 South River Hills Drive. Mr. Chairman and board members, I'm not sure what to say, but I'm going to cut the grass this weekend. I do spend a lot of time out of town. Usually family members come by. So for the first attempt, my brother and my stepdad were supposed to come by and help out, and they did not. And then when I came back, I cut it January 8th, I think, which is one day after the violation was supposed to be served. And then this past 2 weeks I've been gone. I just got back yesterday. And then I saw the hearing and luckily made it. But I will cut it this weekend. I'm sorry for, the trouble with it, but he has done other things that told me to keep the property in compliance, like a trailer last year. I remember him serving me a letter and then we moved it, and there's been other things, so I have complied. I think the best option is for when I'm out of town to get somebody in the area to cut it for me, but I will comply and make sure the yard's cut.
Thank you. Any questions for the respondent? Don't go away yet. Any questions? Okay, you can have a seat, thank you. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one, it's very
Thank
simple.
you.
It's just cutting the grass. What is it?
Did not.
All right, in case number 230452, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 223 South River Hills Drive with the violation code section 10-3 subsection B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of this record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before deadline May 10th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day that violation continue past the date set for the compliance up under considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violations, any previous violations committed by the violator. I move the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So you've been found in violation. You have until May 10th to bring the property into compliance. If it's not brought into compliance, a fine of $25 a day will occur. Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right, we're back to our original agenda. Let me figure out where the heck we're at. Looks like 6209 will be the next case.
You guys are busy. You have been busy.
Very busy.
Case number 226209, City versus Linda M.G. for the property located at 11002 North 61st Street. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-10213C, roofs maintained in good repair, Section 8-10213H, windows and exterior doors maintained in good repair, Section 8-10213B, exterior walls maintained in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on November 16th, 2022. My inspection revealed north side wall was faded and the fascia stains, also fascia staining on the front of the structure. At that time, I left a door hanger with the reinspection dated December the 5th, 2022. My inspection on the 17th of January 2023 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of February 2nd, 2023. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. Mr. Chairman, I did have contact with Ms. Roberts, the sister of the respondent, who stated that the violations would be corrected with additional time. I granted an extra month with the reinspection date of March 2nd, 2023. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations taken by me on January the 24th and March 21st, 2023.
Accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows the north side wall faded and also fascia stainings. Exhibit number 3 shows front fascia stains. As of today's date, the site is now in compliance, and at this time, I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance, and I'm just looking for a finding.
We will accept that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Yes.
I'll do it.
You got it?
Okay. Yeah, I got that. In case number 22-6209, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 11002 North 61st Street. Violations being Section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection B, and Section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection C. This motion is based on the sworn testimony the board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please, which should be 226475.
Case number 226475, City versus Eva C. Fernandez, trustee for the property located at 416 Bellevue Avenue. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-860, outdoor storage equipment and operable vehicle. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Before we start on this case, as you'll notice, it has Ms. Fernandez as the trustee. We'll be amending to actually get the title of this property is in the Eva C. Fernandez Trust Agreement. So just letting you know, if there is a finding on this, we'll be making sure it goes against the property owner, which is the trust, not the trustee.
Gotcha. Thank you.
In fact, I'm going to hand this to get it put into the record.
Okay. It's all you.
Good evening again, Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on December 1st, 2022. My inspection at the time noted 2 inoperative vehicles in the driveway of the residence. One vehicle, a Mazda, was on jack stands, and the second vehicle, a Mustang, had an expired registration. This time I left a door hanger with a compliance date of December 6, 2022. On December 7, 2022, I was contacted by an individual named Stephen requesting additional time to resolve the issue with the vehicles. My reinspection on December 19, 2022 noted no changes, so a notice of violation was completed with a compliance date of December 23, 2022. Posted notice at the home as well as City Hall. Also mailed copies both certified and regular mailed to the address of the registered owner. On December 22nd, 2022, I received a text message from Stephen advising me the Mazda was off the jack stands and the registration for the second vehicle was being completed online. My inspection on December 28 noted the Mazda off the jack stand and the Mustang still had an expired tag. My reinspection on March 14, 2023 noted the Mustang still had an expired tag and the Mazda back on jack stands. This time I'd like to submit photographic evidence. I have 4 photographs. And with that, I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
Very good. Thank you. We'll accept all of that.
All right.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice posted at the residence. Exhibit 2, the Mazda on the jack stands. Exhibit 3, the inoperative Mustang in the driveway with the expired tag. And Exhibit 4, the expired tag on the Mustang. At this time, the property is in compliance. So I submitted an affidavit of compliance.
Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Bob?
I'll do this one.
Rod is the official narrator for this evening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Start?
Go ahead.
In case number 22-6475, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 416 Bellevue Avenue, with the applicable violation code section 12-860. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, which should be 23-1265.
Case number 23-1265, City versus PPGDT, Temple Terrace LLC, for the property located at 8942 Bertha Palmer Boulevard. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-1047 Landscape Maintenance, Keep Premises Clean, Section 12-1047 Landscape Maintenance, Maintained in Good Repair, Section 12-1043 Plant Material and Design, Maintained in Good Condition, Section 8-1668B, minimum standards commercial, sanitation garbage. Section 8-1668A, minimum standards commercial, sanitation public area. And Section 10-31, unlawful practices. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening again, Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on March 10, 2023. Director Baroni and I conducted an inspection of the business plaza due to complaints about the parking lot not being kept clear of trash. During our inspection, we noted landscaping areas to be overgrown, lack of functional irrigation system, islands and plant bed with substandard mulch covering, dumpster and dumpster enclosures not being kept clear of trash, and an inoperable trash compactor. This time I completed notice of violation with compliance date of March 25th, 2023. I emailed the notice to the property manager and leasing agent, also sent it first class and certified to the registered owner, and posted it at the City Hall for the 10-day requirement. My inspection on March 27th and 28th noted no change. I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations. I have 13 photographs.
We'll accept every single one of them.
Only 10.
Oh, this is in the new area.
That's silly.
Number one is trash outside the dumpster enclosure. Number two is trash outside the dumpster enclosure in the parking lot. 3, 4, 5, trash in the parking lot. 6, overgrown abutting property. 7, 8, substandard mulch. Exhibit 9, 10, and 11, dead landscape, lack of irrigation system. And Exhibit 12 and 13, the inoperable compactor. As of today's date, the property is still out of compliance.
Any questions for the code officer? Go ahead, Bill.
So none of these violations are in compliance?
That is correct, sir.
And I'm assuming the unlawful practice, section 10, that's for the inoperable trash?
1031, the bottom one is for the compactor.
Compactor.
Is there like a safety issue with that at all?
Compactor's not basically working. The reason those 2 tan dumpsters are outside is because of the compactor not working. Once the compactor is working, those dumpsters will be removed from the city, but there's not working. It only works in reverse. Won't compact.
It'll expand your garage.
I was going to say, I don't know,
Has there been
garbage
any
expansion doesn't sound
communication
good.
with the property management?
No communication with the property manager. Director Baroni did do another notice of violation on a separate issue there, and he did reach out to Director Baroni, but he's never reached out to me, reference these violations.
Okay.
Question.
Go ahead.
What do you consider substandard mulch? What does that mean exactly?
The beds need mulch
Right.
to be maintained in order to keep the water in for the
Right.
plants.
Mhm.
There's, you can see there, there's no mulch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out which
There's no mulch,
that
nothing.
was which picture.
Any other questions?
We got one.
Go ahead.
It looks like nobody's taking care of the property.
Correct.
Does that seem like a good assessment? So if that's the case, this inoperable trash compactor, I mean, doesn't that represent a public safety hazard of some kind? I mean,
The trash is still being picked up because
could a kid climb in there or something
they're,
like that?
it is not working. So
So, but is it open? Like,
Yeah, is it exposed? Like if I let my
It's
2-year-old
behind-
run
it's
around back
behind-
there, is he gonna
it's
get in it?
No.
Okay.
it's behind cover. So even if, you can't operate it even if the door is open, because there's a safety mechanism there. So somebody would have to be on the outside to close somebody inside if they.
I'm less concerned about somebody getting it turned on them and more concerned about somebody getting inside of it and getting stuck.
It's not working, sir.
They can't get, they won't get stuck.
Than any other compactor in the city.
Won't get stuck.
I don't know anything about the compactors in the city, I'm sorry. I missed that part of orientation.
One thing I do know, they're supposed to go forward and backwards.
And it only operates in the backward mode.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Rod.
This seems to me, is this the downtown Temple Terrace?
Excuse me, sir, this is redevelopment area.
Yeah, it's the new place.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I can tell you that the businesses there, we visited, Jose and I, one morning, spoke to all the businesses, and they are very unhappy with this property owner.
Yeah.
So my recommendation is to get his attention with your motion this evening. We've received many complaints about the trash And as you can see, the trash in the parking lot is very, it doesn't look good.
Now, this is the retail side or the apartment side?
This is the retail side.
Retail
Where the
side.
Starbucks, the Rocking Crab, and the bank is all that
gotcha.
right there.
Chase and all.
Yeah.
Chase, yes, sir.
Okay, very good, thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Do this one.
Rod, you can't have them all, man.
Yeah, you got, no,
$500 per day?
In case number 23-1265, I move that the city is proven by a greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exist on the property located at 8942 Bertha Palma Boulevard. Applicable code sections 12-1047, 12-1043, 8-1668B, 8-1668A, and 1031. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before May 10th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $250 per day.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Any further discussion?
yeah, I guess I'll just ask, you just picked that because that's the maximum we can,
Well, I mean, even if we went $25 per
yeah, it's still
violation,
150.
so it's still the same.
That's $50 a day times 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if you did $50 per day.
It would,
But we typically do 20.
I mean, but again, looking at where it is
Yeah.
and there's been no contact.
They're
it's-
ignoring us. They're ignoring.
Yeah,
And that's a significant amount of garbage just hanging out there. So, I mean,
yeah,
So we went from 25 to 50.
okay,
That's our downtown.
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Brand new.
If there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries. Okay, we have one more,
Gina did.
Gina. So we have one more case under,
Oh, Rod?
I second.
Oh, you did, I'm sorry.
Rod second,
I thought-
Rod
I'm sorry, I
seconded.
thought Gina did.
Do we have one more case?
One more case, yes, 23-1502.
Hold on.
And we still have unfinished business, so we're not going home yet.
It's the face of our city right now.
There's money.
Yeah.
Water.
Need a water? It is one in the back fridge.
I don't want to take my kids down there for all the crap.
Okay. Case number 23-1502,
Little
City
fridge on
versus
the
Greg B.
On the
Shinneman.
right-hand side.
For the property located at 501 Caroline Street, the case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-3B, sanitation, grass weeds. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Director Tom Baroni. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Tom Baroni, Code Compliance. This case this evening originated back on March 21st, 2023. During my inspection, that a side parcel of grass was overgrown and a palm tree debris around the base of the tree. A few months back, I have spoken to the owner about the overgrown side yard that he continuously misses with the lawnmower, and he fails to pick up the fallen palm tree debris. After that conversation, he still continued not to mow that area unless I either issued a door hanger or a notice of violation. Based on the respondent's motivation to mow that area of concern, I prepared a notice of violation that same day with the compliance date of March 27, 2023. On my reinspection of the property, the palm tree debris was picked up. However, the weeds and grass were still overgrown. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence that was taken by me on March 29th. Exhibit number 1 shows the overgrown side yard. I'd like to submit it this time.
We'll accept.
Just get a weed whacker.
So as you're looking, it's a parcel of grass that's on the side of the property. He'll mow the front and his other side, but he doesn't want to mow the one on Ridgedale side. So
Why?
so as of today's inspection, the side yard has been mowed, and therefore the property is in compliance. I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
You just morally opposed to going on the other side of the fence?
Well, he finally got on board. He was here tonight. I sent him home because I said, the property's in
Okay, that's what you
compliance.
sent home, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I just didn't like.
Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Wait, there was one.
There was one? Go ahead, Gina.
The notice of compliance.
Tom, did you give us a notice?
No, I'm gonna give it to Jen tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I thought I prepared it, but I.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, great.
Good catch, though. The rest of us missed it.
Okay. Entertain a motion. You do it, thank you.
All righty, case number 23-1502. I move the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist at the property located at 501 Caroline Street, code violation section 10-3 subsection B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer or Director Tom Baroni, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. A further move that no fine be imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Okay, that concludes our new business, not our new business, but includes the current cases. We're moving on to unfinished business.
Case number 22-2246, City versus Sod Investment Incorporation for the property located at 11301 North 56th Street. The deadline for compliance is due tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Smith for sections 12-1047 and 12-1049 dated March 16, 2023. Case number 224274, City versus Gustavo Vargas, Vanessa Vargas Toner, Gustavo Andres Vargas, and George Germain Vargas for the property located at 8206 Hardy Place. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Silva for section 8-10213C dated March 20th, 2023. Case number 225134, City versus Nina Ecavella and Joseph Vicarata, trustee for the property located at 11706 North 51st Street. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Director Baroni for section 12-957 dated April 11th, 2023. Case number 225357, City versus Michelle L. Edelman and Angelo M. Ferlita for the property located at 6110 Liberty Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Smith for section 8-10213C dated March 15th, 2023. Case number 225661, City versus Sarah Nicole Lugo, Milagros Lugo, Grizel Maria Rodriguez, and Jacob Elijah Lugo for the property located at 9008 Indigo Breeze Court. The deadline for compliance is May 11th, 2023. Case number 225814, City versus Daniel Yang and Ming J. Yang for the property located at 8020 Terrace Ridge Drive. The deadline for compliance is May 11th, 2023. Case number 226320, City versus Ron Mogerman TT Holdings LLC for the property located at 12909 North 56th Street. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Smith for sections 8-1665A dated March 15, 2023. Case number 226653, City versus Helen R. Carl Brown for the property located at 108 Mission Hills Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 226727, City versus Richard G. Lowe for the property located at 511 Nantucket Drive. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Director Baroni for sections 10-34, 22-3452, 8-10213K, and 10-3B, dated April 12, 2023. Case number 23-0117, City versus Brian A. Strouser. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Director Baroni for section 12-861E1, dated March 31st, 2023. Case number 23-5006, City versus Lambro Tampa LLC for the property located at 5450 East Bush Boulevard. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Director Baroni for section 8-56 correction, that's going to be by Inspector Cletus Squires for Section 8-56 dated April 10th, 2023.
Very good. Okay,
And then I have two that were not on the agenda.
all righty.
Okay. Case number 21-0786, City versus James L. Evans and Joyce A.G. Evans for the property located at 11305 East Queensway Drive. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Smith for Section 8-10213A and 8-10213C dated March 13, 2023. Case number 221067, City versus Nicholas Drew and Rachel Teeling for the property located at 716 Druid Hills Road. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted for Section 8-1023C dated April 10th, 2023. Sections 8-10213H and 8-10213B remain out of compliance.
Thank you.
Did you say something?
Absolutely.
Mr. Evans, the Queensway, that was a partial compliance. So that whole thing's not in compliance yet.
Okay.
Oh, Mike.
Just the damage.
Mike, your mic's not on. Your mic is not on.
So the Mr. Evans property on Queensway is a partial compliance.
Okay.
The roof has been repaired, but the brick wall is still outstanding.
Okay.
Okay?
Very good, thank you. Okay, any other board action?
I had two notices of violation from the fire department. Is that just a mistake?
Those were pulled from the agenda, so
Okay.
those had already gone out to you prior to.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay. Quarterly liens list review?
Quarterly liens list review in compliance are case number 21-0786, City versus James L. and Joyce A.G. Evans, 11305 East Queensway Drive, but that was going to be a partial compliance, correct? Case number 21-4324, City versus J.R. Premier Properties LLC, 608 Courtney Drive. Case number 22-1492, City versus J.R. Premier Properties LLC, 608 Courtney Drive. Out of compliance still are case number 080292, City versus Christopher B. York, 7604 Leon Avenue. Case number 172746, City versus James Stevens Johnson and Glenda Johnson, 104 Holland Avenue. Case number 20-1531, City versus Vincent R. and Cynthia J. Atkins, 5513 Temple Heights Road. Case number 210604, City versus Anthony and Jillian Moore, 941 North River Hills Avenue. Case number 21-1177, City versus Nicholas Drew Teeling and Rachel Teeling, 716 Druid Hills Road. Case number 3797, City versus John P. Ziegler, 306 South Burlingame Avenue. Case number 6306, City versus Nahad Darwish, 6319 East 113 Avenue. Case number 216926, City versus Khalil Abu Ahmad, 11901 North 53rd Street. Case number 220203, City versus Ron Mogerman, TT Holdings LLC, 12909 North 56th Street. Case number 221067, City versus Rachel and Nicholas Drew Teeling, 716 Druid Hills Road. Case number 221432, City versus Saknarin and Shinjut Juklum, 5112 East 122nd Avenue. Case number 221767, City versus 12260 Group Incorporated at 12260 Morrisbridge Road. Case number 221989, City versus Estate of Antonio Andu, 512 Caroline Street. Case number 223437, City versus Rod A. Hamill, 6125 East 110th Avenue. Case number 223538, City versus Khalil Ahmad Abu, 11901 North 53rd Street.
Before you move on, I thought I heard you say 3538, but it should be 3528.
Yep.
Okay, 3528, 22-3528. Case number 22-5004, City versus Khalil Ahmad Abu, 11901 North 53rd Street. Case number 225294, City versus Ron Mogerman, TT Holdings LLC, 12909 North 56th Street. Case number 225353, City versus Jewish Enrichment Center Incorporated, 13105 North 52nd Street. Case number 225444, City versus John P. Ziegler, 306 South Burlingame Avenue. And case number 22 2022-6664, City versus Elyce Homes LLC, 108 Mission Hills Avenue.
Very good, thank you. Does anybody have any new business? I have 3 items. First, I want to thank you guys. You've been busy. Wow. And thanks for the compliance rate you continue to get. The second item is, some of you have said things to me, and I've experienced myself. It seems like the post office is not getting things to us as fast as we need them to get to us as far as the minutes, and it's costing the city a lot of money to print out copies of the agenda every month. So I think we're going to move from here on forward, you'll get an email copy, but you won't be getting any hard copies anymore.
That's fine.
Okay? And the last thing is, Ernie and I are putting together a workshop for our May meeting. So we're going to need you to come in. I don't know if it's going to be a half an hour early, an hour early, hour and a half early. Shouldn't take more than an hour and a half. I would think an hour would probably be what we'll be looking for. So we need you to be here in May at 5 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock.
A workshop for what?
A workshop for procedures and fines and those kind of things.
People, right?
Well, for new people and reminders for the old, and kind of discuss the history of the fines and how we got to where we're at and what we should do going forward.
Great.
Okay?
No.
Sure.
This evening, you heard some testimony from an elderly couple that I just want to kind of clear the air a little bit. I was their zone inspector for 11 years, and I know them for 16 years. The issue at their property didn't happen overnight. It's been going on for quite a while. But every time I've seen them together, or I've reminded them that they needed to start cleaning their carport and their driveway, but they would remove things from the carport area and just bring it out to the driveway area. It would just get shuffled around, and then we received a complaint from one of the neighbors. So something needed to be done, and I felt as though that, God forbid, that there was ever a fire there and they couldn't get out because of the debris, I would have to live with that.
Yeah, I got the impression that they didn't understand that things need to move out of the carport.
Yeah.
They were. It seems like the concentration was on the yard, but not the driveway and carport. So.
We all have a heart here. I mean, and our goal is always to gain compliance.
Absolutely.
So I just want you to feel as though that we've been dealing with this for a long, long time.
Everybody understands that.
Okay.
You guys you go above and beyond trying to help these people get compliance, and we certainly appreciate that, and you represent the city well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any new business?
I thought you had 3.
I did. I thanked them.
Oh, okay.
I told you about the hard copies, and I told you about the workshop. That's 3, right?
We thank you again, guys.
So, you want to take your shoes off and use your toes to count?
Motion to adjourn?
That's coming. Okay. If there is no other new business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we are adjourned.